lecture. And dear students, today we are going to speak about the integration strategies. Last time we spoke about very briefly only about the first possible way of integration, and today we will speak about this type of integration in detail, and also we will speak about the second way of integration. So generally the integration strategies means that we have some strategical business units which are situated in the same value chain. This is the vertical integration, or they are situated at one level of value chain. In this situation, it is horizontal integration. Here are the classification, general classification, but I'd like to stress that please don't make a mistake. Horizontal integration has nothing similar with horizontal diversification. It has horizontal, the word horizontal, but there are different things. So about horizontal diversification we spoke last time, and today we will speak about the integration, vertical and horizontal. Generally vertical integration means that we are controlling our suppliers or companies which use our products as the details for their production cycle. So in this case there are two possibilities. The first is forward integration, when we are trying to control our distributors or retailers or the next link in the value chain creating. What does it mean, the next link in the value chain creating? For example, you are producing cheese, and at the next link can be that you are producing something from these cheese. For example, you have a net of kiosks, and it is very popular in Europe to sell warm cheese, smoked cheese on streets. It's like street food, kind of street food. Or you are producing the computer chips, and then you begin to produce the motherboards, for example, the chipset. As far as I know, the Intel company uses this strategy of forward integration. So when we are speaking about forward integration, it doesn't mean that we are controlling only the retailers or distributors, not only, but the next link in value chain creating. And sometimes students, when they asked what is forward integration, they sometimes say that, okay, we are controlling our customers. Okay, actually we are not prisoners, and nobody can control our demand. It means that we are voting by our cash, by our money, so we can buy what we need and what we want to buy actually. So when speaking about forward integration, we are not speaking, certainly we are not speaking about the controlling of customers. And backward integration, then we are controlling our suppliers. Actually, several years ago, I read very interesting article about Shostka factory. It is in Sumskaya region. This enterprise, they produce cheese and something else, some other dairy products, and they faced a very unpleasant problem, very unpleasant situation connected with the fact that many farmers used to put antibiotics into the milk to keep it fresh, but you know, from this milk it is not possible to produce cheese with good quality and actually any dairy product, because to produce, for example, cheese, you have to put some bacteria in the milk, but if there are drugs in this milk, so all the useful bacteria, they will be killed. So it was impossible, and that is why it is the real situation. It was the situation. Actually, frankly speaking, I don't remember when I read this article. It was the article in a business newspaper. It was somewhere about 2010 or something about that. Okay, and they decided to invest into the farmers' business to have fresh milk as raw material with good quality. So this is the example of backward integration. Okay, and forward integration, if speaking about retailers, okay, you saw it was just in front of our eyes when, for example, Rochen, they decided to set up the net of shops to sell the products produced by Rochen. It is the example of forward integration when setting control on distributors or retailers or creating. And actually you can ask me, Pavel Vladimirovich, but what does it mean to control? Does it mean just to create some company by yourself, or it means that we can merge, for example, other company? It can be, the answer is that it can be organized in both ways. Actually, we can set up our business as it was in my examples connected with, for example, with Shostka, with Rochen, or we can just merge another company which is producing, for example, raw materials which we need. In this case, it will be like only merging. There are different ways of vertical integration. So generally, to make my explanation a little bit more obvious, here you can see the value chain creating, but here you can and you must understand that here is drawn only one enterprise, but it could be a lot of links in this value chain, because usually there are not only one company which needs some raw material and which is producing the goods that can be purchased. No, there are a lot of companies in value chain creating. Generally, the idea of vertical integration also is connected with corporate level strategy. So this must be this decision must be made at the top managerial level. Generally, when we are thinking about the vertical integration, we have to think about two important topics. First of all, we have to think about the cost. Sometimes it is it is cheaper to produce some product by your company, or in the second driving force can be that maybe we have some strategic driving forces for vertical integration. Here are the examples of industries. In these we can see the full vertical integration. It is a very rare situation, but still it can be. For example, if speaking about the enterprises Syry Burluka, actually they had some problems as far as I know, and the procedure of bankruptcy was began, but actually, shame on me, I don't know the outcomes of this, I don't know the results of this procedure, but some times ago, maybe you remember that in Kharkov they had a lot of kiosks, Syry Burluka and Burluk cheeses, and actually they were situated in Veliki Burluk, and they have also farmers in their structure. So we can say that in this very case, this is the full vertical integrated structure, from raw materials to selling the product to the final customers. And actually the same examples can be seen at fuel industry. It is also possible. Actually, I have presented this information just to make it a little bit more obvious. The vertical integration can be forward, backward, or balanced, or full vertical integration. Actually, you can ask me, Professor, what do you think? If we have, for example, for Рошен, is it backward or is it forward integration? Because if we look from the point of the shop, it will be backward integration. But if we are looking from the producing of cakes and sweets generally, it will be forward integration. So what is it, the backward or the forward integration? Actually, in this case, let's say that In any case, this is vertical integration, yes. And let's speak about it historically. So historically it was the producing, and then it was the setting up the retailing business. So we can say that this is forward integration. And nowadays, actually, we are living in the century of the internet. So actually, any company can organize the forward integration strategy with the help of internet appearance. Actually, I just make several screens from my computer. So actually I am used to buying a lot of things through the internet. Sometimes we are in Ukraine, we have to use some intermediaries because, for example, if speaking about Disney Store, they are not delivering goods to Ukraine, but it's not a problem. There are a lot of intermediaries which can help with the process. But actually, I think everybody from the today's lecture, everybody has at least one example of buying something in the internet. I think if speaking about, for example, tickets, airplane tickets, nobody wishes to pay some commission, some extra money, and to buy it in some travel agency. It is very easy just to visit the internet site and just to buy the ticket, and that's all. And the characteristic of the current situation is that company now is trying to organize vertical marketing system. What does it mean? It means that if speaking about the situation which was about 30 years ago, maybe, it was just a strict scheme which is shown at the left part of the screen. But now manufacturers are building vertical marketing system. It means that they are trying not only to involve intermediaries, but also they're trying to sell the products in own net of shops or via I am mistaken, maybe. Maybe actually I'm not buyer of this trademark. Thereafter, maybe it is the situation that something special can be bought only in the shop. I'm not sure. But generally, if speaking, for example, about some candies, I'm sure that today I was in supermarket in the morning and I saw a lot of candies produced by Rochelle. So it is possibility to buy it in the shop and anywhere else. Generally, when the forward integration is a good managerial decision. When, first of all, when there are not a lot of distributors, then there are we have this business with high profitability, so we can think, why should we present this profit to other company? Let it be our profit. Then we can then the distributors cannot meet the firm needs. For example, if speaking about Roshen, not candy but cakes, so we need fridges to keep it fresh, and if something wrong, maybe it can be damaged. Then, when the industry grows significantly, it means that in this very case we also want to cut a piece from this pie, and certainly if we have enough resources, to organize the strategy. Backward integration, it means that we are trying to control the suppliers of the raw materials and details which we need to produce our products. Actually, generally we are using this strategy when the current suppliers cannot supply us the raw materials with good quality, when the number of suppliers is very small and it is deficit of the product, when the industry is expanding rapidly, so we would like the same situation, we'd like to have the bigger piece of this pie, then the prices of inputs are unstable. So if the production of the raw material is organized by our company, it will be stable because we are producing the raw materials for us. And if the suppliers have very big profitability, so we can think, okay, it's not a big deal to produce something, we will produce it by ourselves. And don't forget that company can be integrated in both way, forward and backward. We call it as balanced integration. And there are generally a lot of, I set you examples about Ukraine, but there are a lot of examples of vertical integrations in the world. Actually, why I decided to use this, because our family is crazy about, I'm sorry, I didn't have, my camera doesn't work, I don't know why. But I have a lot of toys. My children, they have a lot of toys produced by Disney. I have a lot of T-shirts. My wife has a lot of T-shirts and other clothes produced by Disney, and everything was bought in this internet Disney store. It's not, please don't think this is the piece of advertising. I just telling you about my habits, just this. Okay. So when speaking about the vertical integration strategy, generally there are some advantages, so lower cost, better quality, crucial resources can be acquired through vertical integration, and we can control all the supply chain. It means that everything will depend only on our company. So this help us to increase our market share, and to have more stable distributions channels. But the vertical integration has a very unpleasant disadvantage, and the main disadvantage is connected with reducing flexibility. What does it mean? It means that if there is, for example, new technology at the market, we will just change our supplier and that's all. For example, a year ago, Elon Musk presented the completely new technology about the accumulators. Actually, I'm not the specialist in the field, so I just read the news about it and that's all. So I'm not specialist. Please don't say, okay, you are wrong. It maybe it is not completely new, but the better. So it was something connected with GAL. For example, you are the producers of mobile telephones. And if you are not vertically integrated company, you will just change the supplier and that's all. And because generally you have no obligation, it is your decision whether to buy this detail from one supplier but not from the second one. But if you are vertically integrated company, you cannot just change the supplier and that's all, because this supplier is the part of your company. So in this very case, you are more involved in the business, and it is very difficult for you to exit the industry or to change something in the technology. This is the main disadvantage. And generally, all these advantages are connected with the fact that we are like diving in the industry. So we are becoming fully dependent on the industry. And if something is wrong with the industry, or with at least some link in value chain creating, it will be all these advantages will be connected with reducing flexibility, and this can be a big problem for the company. And generally, the process of vertical integration can be organized in different ways. So here are the explanation that this integration can be less in the bottom and more as it is shown at the top of the picture. Generally, we can organize the vertical, not the vertical integration, but the vertical cooperation. It means that in this case, we are trying to have less control, but we have what is better for us, that we have more flexibility if we have not the integration but vertical cooperation. How we can organize it? The easiest way is to sign the long-term contracts with our suppliers. Horizontal integration means that we are trying to merge the company which is producing the same product. For example, Disney merged the Pixar company, and in the book I uploaded to our folder the mistakes of top managers of the corporations. There is also very interesting example when one company, beverage company, decided to merge another company, and what was the result of it. So generally, we are trying to merge one of the company which are at the same level of our company. So I'm stressing one more time that this has nothing similar with horizontal diversification. Please keep it in mind. So generally, at least the picture, I tried to make it more obvious the difference between vertical integration and horizontal integration. But I do hope it is clear for you. When it is a good idea to use this strategy? Generally, then we have a growing industry, so we have to increase our capabilities. And in this case, we will cut the bigger piece from the market pie. It can be used. It can be used only if there is no restriction regarding monopoly. And also the general idea is to have the economy of scale. What does it mean? We spoke about it. If you have the same suppliers, and you will in this situation because you are producing the same products, maybe under different trademarks, just this. So you will have to buy the same raw materials, maybe not all but mostly. And the general rule in economics, in business, that the more you buy, the cheaper you have every next unit. And generally, there are two possible ways of organizing the horizontal diversification. It can be merger or acquisitions. The difference is presented here. And if speaking about the examples, so I can say this example about the Disney and Pixar, or other examples connected with international businesses. You will read it in your presentation. Actually, I'm really sorry that if speaking about horizontal integration of Ukrainian business, we have a lack of information. Shame on me. Thereafter, I cannot present you the examples of horizontal integration in Ukrainian business. And just to finish the lecture, this lecture and previous lecture, this is the strategy of diversification of Disney company. They began with movies, then with cartoons, sorry. Then they began to produce movies. for children, but you know, nowadays these movies for children, the adults also love these movies, and it was so surprising when I was in the at the cinema. It was, as far as I remember, the Lady and the Beast, with the lady who has a role in Harry Potter film. Okay, I don't remember. Okay, so the what was really surprising, we were with our older child, but there were so many couples, so couples, I mean just a man and a young woman who decided to watch this video, this fairy tale. Then you remember that Walt Disney organized the entertainment. Then they began to produce toys, first of all to sell it in the Disneylands, but then they decided to organize a lot of production trade lines. So now there you can visit Disney store, and you can see that they are producing now actually anything, not only clothes, but they are producing forks, spoons, vases, okay, a lot of things, even the toys for Christmas tree, even the toys for Christmas tree. So this is the way of diversification, and in this way we can find actually all the types of diversification. Okay, maybe not the conglomerate, because three of the three types are also interrelated somehow. All the businesses are interrelated and interconnected somehow. Okay, let it be. I think it was my mistake. All the types of diversification of this company is a related diversification. But actually, I will not coming back to our task number 3, previous task. Actually, if you think that this type of diversification is blah blah blah, some type, but you will provide the explanation, it is okay. But there were some students who just haven't provided any explanation, and that's all. So thank you for listening, and now I will switch off the recording, and I will